Hi guys, happy Earth Day and happy Tuesday. I hope you had a lovely Easter weekend with family. We have some family in town and I invited them over for dinner. And I'm gonna keep it very simple because we just came back. I don't have any groceries. I haven't had any time to plan or prep. I'm gonna try to rely on what we have on hand and what I know so that we can keep it as foolproof as possible and still have a delicious dinner. I'm going for Italian vibes and I wanna make it a little bit interactive and fun. So we're gonna make some homemade pasta, which honestly is much easier than you think it is to make, and I'll show you guys. I actually have some short rib ragu that I batch made months ago and then froze some of it, so we're gonna use that as the pasta sauce. So really the only thing we have to do is make the pasta dough. If you guys haven't seen last week's video, you should really watch it because I made a spring focaccia which was so cute and adorable and everybody loved it because it was delicious, and honestly that inspired me to make more focaccia more often. So we're gonna also attempt to make a focaccia today. Hopefully I'll have enough time, but we'll see. As for the pasta, I'm thinking of making some side vegetables. I'm thinking either roasted carrots or some broccolini or both. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna try to get some inspiration from the grocery store and see what we can make and get all the necessities that I need for the rest of the stuff. Let's go to the grocery store and get some things for the dinner tonight. I got all the groceries and as always I had to pick up some flowers. I saw some peonies, which I feel like it's still early for peony season and they didn't necessarily look the best, especially for the price. So I decided to get these blue flowers. Every time I get hydrangeas I always forget just how much of a high maintenance flower they are. And then I also got these delphinium blue flowers. I'm keeping it very simple and very rustic for the tablescape, but I want to use these blue napkins that I have, so I thought these would go well with that. I'm gonna go eat some lunch, put these in a vase and then put the groceries away, and I'll be right back because we need to make the focaccia dough. Okay, we're making the focaccia dough. My hair is up because I feel overstimulated. I'm not going to show you guys the step-by-step process of making the focaccia because I included the full recipe on the previous week's vlog. So you should go watch that if you want the actual recipe of how to make the dough. So I'm just going to speed things up here. We're starting with some warm water, some honey. The reason why we're adding honey, you could also add agave or sugar, is because yeast needs to eat sugar in order to activate. It's basically the same for making wine. Yeast eats sugar, creates alcohol, in this case fermentation, and then some extra virgin olive oil. Give this a quick whisk. Okay, now we're gonna add some sea salt. I didn't add enough last time, so we're gonna do a little bit more today. Now we're gonna add the bread flour and then we're gonna whisk the dough all together to combine. Okay, the texture of the dough is perfect. It's, as you can see, very sticky and very well hydrated. This is what we want. Okay, while the dough rests, I'm gonna prepare the toppings for the focaccia. I'm doing some green olives. These are Castelvetrano olives, rosemary, as well as garlic. Also, this is not a big dinner party. We only have one person coming over. That's why I'm keeping things simple. Otherwise, this would have been a multi-day process. I used to love hosting. I've hosted so many dinner parties, brunch parties. I don't know why I haven't been inspired to host that much recently, probably because it was a long winter. I think I'm trying to get back into my hosting game. Let me know if you guys would like to see that on the channel, whether you want me to host some girls' dinner parties or brunch parties and film the process of how I put something together. Food is definitely one of my love languages, and I think it ties nicely with acts of service. My love for hosting comes from, it's because I probably also grew up with a culture where even though you didn't have anything, you would host people and offer them whatever you have. In Albanian, we actually have this phrase called "çka ka qelu," which basically just means like whatever there is, like whatever we have, it means it's yours as well. And I think that's very poetic and very beautiful. And I'm really happy and grateful and blessed that I grew up with that sort of culture and that mentality instilled in me. Just to show you guys, this is all the garlic that I'm cutting up for the focaccia. I really do not understand when a recipe says 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. I love garlic and I feel like there is never enough of it. You do you though, put as much as you want. Here is all the rosemary that I chopped up. By the way, you guys, I love deli containers and it makes me want to throw out all of my prep bowls and Tupperware because I feel like they're so much more stackable, so much better for storage and more practical. And here's all the chopped garlic. This is actually a rough chop, not a fine chop, because I like to have a little bit of chunks of garlic because it's going to bake at a high heat. They're going to get nice and crispy. I'm going to have about 20 olives or so. Just grab a handful of them, it doesn't matter. We've got our rosemary, garlic, and olives in this container. I'm also going to put some flaky sea salt. I ran out of Maldon, so I just bought a new fresh one, and it makes me so happy to see all these incredible flakes. I'm gonna put a good amount of olive oil in here. And the reason why I'm doing this instead of just adding everything to the top of the focaccia, which is totally fine to do, is because I kind of want the olive oil to be infused in all of these incredible flavors and everything to get to know each other better. And this is why I love deli containers, is because I just put the lid on. I can just give it a little shake. And this is how I make my salad dressings also. Here we are, beautiful toppings for the focaccia. For the vegetables, I've decided that we're going to make some broccolini with some charred lemon. I love to pair bitter vegetables with a rich pasta dish. And then I'm also going to roast some carrots just to have a nice contrast of sweet and bitter flavors. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. We're gonna do our first round of stretch and folds for the focaccia. All right, cover her and let her rest for another 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. Let's do the second set of stretch and folds. Okay, I don't have much time today, so we're just gonna cover her and let her rest for about an hour. Okay guys, we're almost there. It's been an hour. You get the first look of what it looks like. Oh, it's grown way more than last time, so I'm gonna take that as a positive sign. Now we're gonna cover the bottom of this pan with lots and lots of olive oil. All right, now we're gonna transfer this bubbly, gorgeous focaccia dough into the baking sheet. I'm just gonna cover it with some parchment paper and let it rest for about 50 to 60 minutes, so about an hour, and then we'll come back. While the focaccia rests, we're gonna make our homemade pasta dough, and I'm gonna show you guys just how simple and easy it is, and truly everybody can make this. I'm gonna use my digital scale again just to be more accurate. I'm gonna place a bowl on top. Measurements for pasta dough are very simple. I only use eggs and flour, and for each large egg, I do 100 grams of 00 flour. I'm going to use 4 eggs today, so that means 400 grams of flour. I'm going to place the flour onto the bowl first. Now we're just going to make a little well directly onto the bowl itself so that we can crack the eggs in the middle. Crack the eggs directly into the well that you made. I don't add any salt or any oil into the dough. That's not the traditional way of making it, and why complicate things, to be honest? I start by piercing the yolks just so it's easier to mix them directly in this well. We're just gonna whisk the eggs, and then as you see, there's going to be some flour that gets incorporated into them. Now that you can see that the eggs are pretty well whisked, I'm going to start to scoop a little bit more flour and whisk it. Obviously, it's going to become more difficult to whisk it the more flour that you add. I feel like that's the best it's going to get with the fork. I'm going to transfer everything from this bowl into the counter. Now this is where it becomes more of an arm workout. The pasta dough is coming together more, so kneading it does take a little bit more arm strength. A good indication of when the pasta dough is ready is once it stops sticking to your hands, which, as you can see, I haven't added flour in a while and it's not really sticking into my hands anymore. And the surface area is looking way more smooth. And if it bounces back once it's dimpled, it means it's ready. I'm just gonna keep going a little bit longer. I think I've been kneading it for about 4 minutes now. It's the labor of love that goes into making something from scratch. There we go. We have a very nice and smooth egg pasta dough that is ready to rest. I'm just gonna cover this baby in some plastic foil now and let it rest for about an hour at least, or until we're ready to rock and roll with it. I changed because I got hot, don't worry about it. We are going to bake the focaccia. Let's see. That is how much it's proofed. It is so jiggly and fluffy. Giant bubble right there. We're not going to disturb it. Olives, rosemary, garlic, and more olive oil. Put it on top. A little bit more flaky sea salt, especially on the toppings. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles all around. I'm gonna start rolling the pasta dough because it feels very pliable and ready. I'm just gonna montage this and show you guys how I roll out the pasta because it's very therapeutic, so I want you to get the full experience.
Come una giornata soleggiata, gli occhi d'una figlia appena nata, come il cielo pieno di stelle, penso a tante cose belle passate, le ore più felici passate, quando sei bambino a Natale, come il sole dopo il temporale, così bella e anche più sei tu.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I wanted to let you know what we're up to tonight. We are going to watch yet another Broadway show. We're going to go watch The Picture of Dorian Gray starring Sarah Snook. And it's a one-woman show where she is playing basically 26 characters, which I'm always so intrigued by one-man and one-woman shows. We're going to go try a new restaurant that I've been dying to try. It's really been high up on my list. It is Veau. So what's special about this restaurant is that it used to be a French bistro staple in New York, and I believe it was open since the 30s, but then it closed down. So then the new owners reopened it under the same name, and it's the owners of Le Roc and Frenchette, which, by the way, Le Roc is one of my absolute favorite restaurants. It is sort of our tradition around Christmas time to go to Le Roc, and if you guys stick around, you will see it in future vlogs eventually when the winter comes around. Very excited to try it. It looks like your classic Parisian French bistro. I feel like the food is just going to be very rich and decadent, and I feel like it's going to give us some fuel before the show. Super excited for a date night out on Broadway and the Upper East Side. The days are getting longer. It is so nice and warm outside, so I'm definitely feeling my personality coming back and feeling very happy. I also put together a cute little outfit that sort of matches the vibe of the play. I did actually post my outfit of the night on TikTok if you guys want to go see the details there. And as always, of course, I'm going to bring you guys along so that you can third wheel us and join us on this fun date night. So without any further ado, let's head uptown together.
Eu já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, mas você só continua com essa enrolação. Já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, você só continua com essa enrolação. Eu já limpei e arrumei o que você pediu, enquanto você tinha outra coisa que arrumar. E mesmo assim te esperando você não saiu. Falou que falta eu botar água pra esquentar. Eu já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, mas você só continua com essa enrolação. Eu já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, mas você só continua com essa enrolação. Depois faltou cozinha, banho, roupa e bidê. Parece sempre que arruma coisa pra fazer. Já te falei que compromisso não pode esperar, mas você sempre arruma coisa pra se enrolar. Pa 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 pam bam bam. Eu já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, mas você só continua com essa enrolação. Eu já cansei de te chamar pra tu sair de casa, mas você só continua com essa enrolação. Eu já limpei e arrumei o que você pediu, enquanto você tinha o almoço para cozinhar. E mesmo assim, depois de tudo, você não saiu. E vem tá aqui agora, vai preparar.
Hi guys, happy Friday. Sorry for the jump scare. I am trying something new with my hair and I wanted to show you guys how the results are going to turn out. I've recently been converted into using a Dyson Airwrap, and honestly I don't understand why it's taken me so many years to get convinced. And honestly, I'm in love with it. I naturally have a lot of hair, so drying my hair and then styling it just takes a lot of time and is a lot of work, but this has definitely cut all of that work in half. And I've been seeing online that if you want the results to last longer, you should be clipping each sort of roll. So I tried it on today because I have a lot of plans this weekend and I don't want to have to do my hair over and over again. I truly feel like a founding mother, if I'm being honest. So basically what I did is I would air wrap each section and then I would gently remove it from the barrel, and then I would just clip it with a little like metal clip onto my hair. And then on top I have 2 rollers, as you can see. Let's speed this up and see what it looks like. I removed exactly 16 clips out of my hair. I don't really know how I'm supposed to remove the rollers. Is there a way to do it correctly or incorrectly? I don't know. Am I supposed to pull this or unroll it? I think they do this motion. like so. So instead of pulling, I think I'm just gonna do this twisty motion and see if that does anything. Okay. Okay, well, this is looking crazy, but oh, wait a second. This looks like a nice blowout. Is that why people put rollers on to get this look? All right, let's put some products on and then brush it out because this is crazy right now. I'm just gonna use this Dyson, I guess it's post-style serum. I don't really know what it does. It smells really good though. A little bit of this Moroccan oil hairspray just at the bottom. I'm dying. I've tried a lot of different hair oils and honestly the Olaplex one has been my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna gently just brush it while holding. This is the final look of the hair. I feel like I got a nice bouncy blowout. I don't know how long this is going to last. Maybe I'll show you guys tomorrow if it goes completely flat. I also really love doing overnight heatless curls. I'll probably do that tonight just to kind of keep the bounciness, the volume, and give it a little bit more shape. I definitely like the overall look. What do you guys think? We also have some really fun plans tonight that I wanted to tell you guys about. We have a little date night in Brooklyn. We are going to try Lucali Pizza. It's one of the hardest reservations to get, honestly. It's in Brooklyn, in Carroll Gardens specifically, and it's star-studded. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and many different celebrities are spotted there all the time. It's supposed to be one of the best pizzas in New York City and a very rustic and charming place, but we'll see if it's worth the hype or not, and I'll obviously let you guys know. Well, the hair went flat because I decided to have a spritz in the terrace because it was very nice out, but it was windy and my hair got all over the place and I had to brush it a few times, so that wasn't really worth it, I think. Wearing one of my favorite dresses. It's this beautiful silk red floral dress from Realization Par, and then I just wanted to, you know, accessorize and merchandise the outfit a little bit. So I'm wearing this vintage Chanel belt that I actually got in Tokyo. I was looking for this for years. And yeah, that's about it. Let's head on over to Carroll Gardens and I'll show you guys what Lucali looks like. Hi guys, happy Saturday. It's a gloomy and rainy day in New York, and honestly all I want to do is stay home and rot on the couch, but we do have plans, so we're heading out. We are going to a blind wine tasting today for a wine startup company, so it's their portfolio wines, and then later on we have a friend's birthday. I'll try to show you guys a little bit about the wine tasting. Last night in Brooklyn was so much fun. Lucali Pizza was such a vibe. It's very, very small in there. Now I understand why it's almost impossible to get in, because obviously they're very popular, and the fact that the place is so small, there's only so many tables available, but the pizza was good, the calzone was good. Honestly, I feel like I liked the vibes and the music even more than the food and the wine, but the food was also very great, just not something that I would go out of my way for, to wait in crazy lines just to get the pizza. I feel like there's a few other pizza places in New York that I maybe like better. Anyways, running late. I think I'm gonna pick up some coffee just to get some energy on the way, and then I'll catch up with you guys later.
Loud for the